Okay, that was interesting. Anyway, hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today is another day of me trying to explain another Super Mecha Champion Mecha, and today's mecha is called Pulsar. So without further ado, let's get started. So Pulsar is a mecha that you must need to buy with 20,000 gold coins or whatever it is called, and it has two forms, this and this. In this form it basically becomes a laser, and in this form it basically has high mobility and can be fast. Okay, but other than that, let's talk about its ability. So this mecha is called hit and run and continuous type of mecha. I 100% agree with this, because the thing about this mecha is this mecha has high movement speed and as well as continuous shooting abilities. Okay, now here is the thing. This one is called multipulse. Okay, this it is a primary weapon. Now the developer were so lazy that they didn't include the specification here, and this one is a secondary weapon. Okay, and this one is a tactical skill. It basically causes this mecha to uh jump very fast, but here's the thing, it can only be done on the ground but not in the air. This one is normal jump, but it also helps this mecha to go up. It has propulsion capabilities, and this one is called the core skill, which is sniping pulse. Basically it transforms into this mecha, sorry, in this form, and it can shoot lasers. So to give a further better demonstration of this mecha, let's go to the training ground to actually talk about it. Okay, okay, so first of all, I have this mecha but I don't use it. It is not my style of mecha. That's basically nothing else. It is fast. Like, this mecha is fast, but the only problem is just being fast is not good enough. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about the go attack module. So when it comes to the attack module, there is precision pulse and enhanced recharge. And oh boy, let me tell you something. I tried my best to apply this in every manner possible. I use the secondary weapon, I use the primary weapon, I use the blaster form. Okay, this one is called the blaster form. So I used everything, but it has no effect on anything. So I eventually realized that this one is cracked, or this one doesn't work. So I put all my concentration on this one, which is a precision pulse, because the thing is your primary weapon must need to be as accurate as possible. So for that reason only, I suggest that you use precision pulse instead. Okay, so that is one of the thing. Now the one which is called the defense module. Now here is the thing. When you read the description of both of these, you start to think, are you okay, or did the developer went drunk when making this description? For example, strategic retreat is 30%. Okay, I forgot to lower the volume. Okay, sorry about that. So strategic retreat is 30% movement to dash up to 2 seconds when dealt damage during the dash. So what does it mean? Does it mean that you can attack the enemy mechas while dashing? It will basically give you more movement speed, or will you get more movement speed for 2 seconds if the enemy is shooting at you? Well, that's the thing, that it is not clear on how this actually works. But also at the same time, you cannot even apply this in the training ground, because you must need to get shot or hit the mecha, but there is no way of telling which one actually works faster. Okay, so yeah, even if you were to select this, you won't be able to tell the difference. But here is the thing, defensive volley, what it basically means is 40 shield when shooting cannot exit on max shield. So what it basically means that if you, let's say, have low shield for some reason, shield destroyed, and if you were to shoot at the enemy, the shield will automatically regain, but obviously you cannot gain more than the shield which you already have. So yeah, if you want defense just by shooting at the enemy, then obviously this defensive volley is still a best option than the one above it, because the one above it is so vague that you cannot even test this method. Okay, now let's talk about this propulsion. Now 20% movement speed for 2 seconds after successful hit with the primary weapon. Okay, this one is understandable. You get more movement speed the more you hit with the primary weapon. Okay, and it has no cooldown. Basically speaking, you can do it as much as you can. And this one is blaster reload rate. So the when you use this, what will happen is, how no matter how much the amount of time it takes to reload, if you were to select this one, then it's gonna take even lower time. Okay, so as you saw, it was 8, but now it is about 7. So this can go even lower if you were to give it even large quantity of reload rate. Obviously it is gonna go even lower. But here's the thing, which one would you use? I suggest that you use this one here. And why is that? Because the thing is, 2% of movement speed is actually a lot when you are in a fight. But here's the thing, this mecha itself is way too fast to begin with. So if you have a fast mecha, obviously giving it more speed is not good. What it is to give it a balanced amount of materials. Okay, so from that point of perspective, having reload rate and making the cooldown of the secondary weapon even lower by 20% is a lot better than giving it more speed. So I suggest that you use the rapid recharge. Okay, and when it comes to the core skill, the second core, sorry, when it comes to the core module, okay, this is not core skill, core module. So when it comes to the core module 1 is a lot more better understanding than core module 2. So what is core module 1? It says blaster form in the first 3 shot is gonna be 8% more damage output, and when in humanoid form it will have 8 seconds of more movement speed. So yeah, from that point of perspective, if you were to go with this one, you will be getting more damage out of this blaster form. But when in humanoid form, this will gain even more movement plus dashing speed. Yeah, but what about the secondary one, primary blaster? So the thing is, it is written here 7% of damage on hit on enemies. Okay, so if the enemies get hit, doesn't matter pilot or mecha, they will receive 7% more damage by blaster or secondary weapon for 8 seconds. Okay, so secondary weapon for 8 seconds, what does this mean? I still have no idea. Usable only by self. What did they actually wanted to say? I cannot understand properly, because I have studied English literature for a very long period of time to actually know how to talk or write in English, but this is no way of understanding what it is trying to say. Okay, if any of you who understand this topic, please let me know, because this mecha has the most amount of understandable English use or literature used in describing this mechanism. Okay, so yeah, which is why I have selected core 1, because core 2 I have no idea what it's trying to say, but core 1 is still better. Okay, now let's go to that place there to actually see whether this mecha is good at long range or not. Okay, so if you were to ask me what type of mecha is this, is it a mid range, long range, or a short range? It is multi-range. It can do damage in all long, mid, and even short. So in long range, you will have to be using this blaster form to do sniping damage. Okay, like you snipe at the enemy for a very long distance. And yeah, if you were to give this mecha even more lower reload rate percentage mods, or let's say pilot mecha skill, then obviously you will be able to continuously shoot with this what should I call it, blaster form are a lot more faster. Okay, like it will be basically become a blaster form machine gun. Okay, so that much of a unique this long range one is. Now let's talk about the secondary weapon. The secondary weapon cannot go there, but you can definitely use the primary weapon to give the enemy warning shots of not shooting you directly. If they do shoot you directly, you will be able to destroy them easily as well. Now, what about the primary? Now, the primary weapon is about 70% accurate. Okay. Now, it does seems like all of the attacks are actually getting hit, but it is not actually. It is only hitting up to 70 to 80%. So yeah, there is a up down range of how much accurate the primary weapon is. But don't use the primary weapon to give warning shots to the enemy. Use the blaster from. Okay. Now this is the mid range. The mid range, according to me, is when the crosshair of the mecha is similar or smaller than the mecha that is standing over there. Okay, so from that point of perspective, this is a mid range. Okay, so when it comes to the mid range, the secondary weapon seems to be not that much accurate. Why is it not accurate? I have selected everything that is good, and yet it is still not being accurate. Anyway, sometimes you'll be lucky to get all of the shots, and sometimes it actually doesn't work. So this time it doesn't work. Now, obviously, this blaster form will work because it works 300 meters away, and the primary weapon has 100% accuracy at mid range. So if you see any mecha that is as big as the crosshair, okay, then you can be 100% guaranteed to get all of the hit being done to the enemy mecha, and the enemy mecha will be destroyed by your primary weapon. Okay. Now, when it comes to the short range, obviously in short range there is a different method you have to follow. One of the method that you have to follow is you have to continuously move and shoot. Okay, how do you do that? Well, here's the thing: you move, use the primary weapon, and then move again. So what does it do? It basically means that if you were to continuously move and shoot at the enemy, obviously the enemy will have difficulty shooting back at you. Obviously, you should not shoot at the mecha just by moving in one direction. You have to move left, right, up, down, and then use primary, secondary, up, down, up, down. You have to move in that pattern. So if you're wondering, okay, is there any other mecha that can move in the same manner as Pulsar? Yes, there is another mecha. For example, Skylar. Now Skylar is a lot faster. If Skylar were to be using its what should I call it? It's a tactical skill. So obviously, if Skylar were to use the tactical skill, then obviously it would move a lot faster. Now, if you are worried, okay, I need to use dogfight in rapid dogfight in short range? It seems like yes, you have to use a rapid dogfight in short range, but short range is something that can happen in every battle royale. But obviously, if you think that you will be facing the enemy more near range instead of long range or mid range, then obviously from that point of perspective, using the rapid dog is more optimal instead of using rapid recharge, because rapid recharge is more of a long range and short range related. Okay, whereas rapid dogfight is more of a short range related. Okay, so from that point of perspective, if you are more into fighting the enemy in the short range, obviously use rapid dogfight, because in doing so what will happen is you will be getting more movement speed out of your primary weapon. Okay, while you attack the enemy, you will be moving a lot faster. And obviously another thing you can do while you are in what should I call it, short range, that is you have to change and then back and then hit. By doing so, you will be getting even far more speed. So that is basically how you should be planning on fighting the other mechas in this short range. Another last thing you can do is you go up and stay on top of the head of the enemy mecha. And why would you do that? The reason you want to do that is because when you try to face up, you'll see that there is a certain limitation, and this limitation causes you to unable to hit mechas that is directly above your head. So if a certain mecha is directly above your head, the enemy will have a hard time shooting you back. So yeah, that's basically how the short range attack of this mecha works. Okay, it is in my consideration good enough, not the best, but good enough to actually destroy the enemy mecha. Now let me change this back. Okay, so that is the thing. Now the question remains is, okay, what about this mecha sneak attack? Now if you want sneak attack of this mecha, the thing about the sneak attack is, let's start with the following one. If you are new to this game, then do understand that this is a right shoulder game. So whatever you see on the right side of the screen, obviously that is a good thing. But it seems like this sneak attack of this mecha is not very good, because half of the body has been exposed in order to hit. So yeah, the sneak attack from behind the wall is not gonna be the best, but it is fast enough to actually hide again, but it is still not the best. And what about the secondary attack? The secondary attack will most of the time get missed. So yeah, you have to be extremely careful when you use this method. Now what is the second method? The second method is you can jump and then shoot. Okay, so what happens is, when you use the secondary weapon but not shoot at the enemy, you will be floating in the air for a certain amount of time. Okay, and obviously the fuel will get used, so you have to be careful on how long you stay in the air. But that is another way of shooting at the enemy while you are behind a certain object, and this must need to be done in a short range. Now what about long range? Okay, so for long range, okay, you would rather be using this form, this blaster bomb. Okay, it doesn't have to be like you have to be near the enemy to see the enemy. You can jump up in the sky, shoot and get down, jump, shoot and get down. Yeah, if you were to do it in this manner, then what will happen is the enemy is gonna get destroyed, because this mecha is very good when it changes into this blaster form, and the amount of damage it does is about 500 damage. Now that is way too much damage, and the frequency of using this damage dealing mechanism is also extremely fast, which is why you could definitely destroy a enemy mecha using this type of sneak attack. Okay, now I did try the AoE damage related thing, like can you directly shoot below. Now I did try that. This one doesn't work on this mecha. This method only works on mecha which has AoE damage. Okay, so see, the mecha below doesn't take any damage, so yeah, this method will not work. The method which can work on, let's say, hot steel or northern night or any mecha that uses AoE damage. Okay, anyway, let's talk about this mecha's ability to survive in a situation where you are suddenly getting attacked by the enemy and you need to hide. What can you do? Well, you can use this tactical skill to hide. Okay, but here's the thing, the tactical skill of this mecha is limited to how much amount of fuel you have, so you have to be careful of that part. So once you use the tactical, you'll see that this mecha can actually go front back left right. Okay, front back left right, but it cannot go up, because the moment it goes up, it becomes a different mechanism which is called propulsion. And when the propulsion gets activated, the dashing stops. Okay, for example, let's say I am doing dashing and then I use propulsion. See, the dashing gets stops, but both the dashing and the propulsion uses fuel, so you have to be careful on which one you are actually using. Now from my case, I suggest that when you are facing against enemy in a long range fight, just go to a higher platform and just wait for them to come within the range and attack them. Okay, but if the enemies are nearby, just use this normal dashing capability to run away from the battlefield as soon as possible. Okay, now the good thing about this mecha's ability to run away from the battlefield is good. How much good it is? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run straight, okay, till there is no more fuel left, and let's see how long does this fuel last. Okay, so I'll be marking from this place here. Okay, so whatever the distance is, I have to subtract 4. Anyway, let's start. Okay, I made a mistake. I thought I needed to jump, but it seems like I didn't need it to jump. Okay, let's try again. Okay, whatever the distance is, I'll be subtracting 3 this time. Okay. Okay, so let's just say I stop at this point. Okay, so if I were to look, it is 161 meters. So yeah, the ability of this mecha to run away from the battlefield is extremely long. Okay, long enough so that you do not need to worry about anything, because 160 meters is more than enough for you to hide from the enemy very easily. Okay, now let's talk about this mecha's ability to survive in water. So there will be time in the battle royale where what will happen is sometimes you will have to cross a large body of water, because suddenly the map is closing up in such a way that you have to run across the water to go to the another land. Okay, so what can you do then? Well, the thing is, if an enemy pilot were to be showing up using hoverboard or unicorn, obviously this mecha can deal with that very easily. Why? Because this mecha has propulsion capability. You can basically go up and shoot at the enemy pilot, and obviously once you do that you will be going down, but there is no need to be worried because the fuel recovers very well and the fuel stays active for a long period of time. So yeah, in doing so, what will happen is the enemy pilot will be destroyed if you are able to aim properly, that is. And yeah, so the survivability of this mecha in an underwater battle is highly possible for this mecha to actually survive the battle. Okay, now I can't think of anything else at the moment. Sometimes my brain doesn't work for some reason, I do not know why. So that's basically the maximum thing I can say about this mecha, that this mecha is a very good mecha. Okay, like many of the other people who uses this mecha on a regular basis use it in such a way that most of the fight they actually win when they use this mecha. Now, even in team deathmatch, I actually have hard time if multiple of the same mecha were to show up. But then again, having two of the same mecha is still a very competitive topic. Okay. Now, other than that, the question means is, okay, since I use Doomlight, how was my fight when I fight against a Pulsar? So when I fight against a Pulsar, most of the time what I have to do is I have to hide by using my Doomlight and let them come closer. Because the thing that Pulsar user doesn't seem to understand, that the closer they are in a fight against Doomlight, the more they are gonna get destroyed. Because it doesn't matter how fast you are, the crosshair movement, okay, is gonna be so fast that no matter how fast your mecha move, you're still gonna get hit by Doomlight primary weapon. Okay, that is one of the reason why most of the fight, Pulsar can actually get destroyed by Doomlight very easily. So you have to be careful of that. The only way you can survive against a Doomlight is to destroy Doomlight in a long range fight using this blaster form. You can destroy the shield very easily in up to 4 shots. So after 4 shots, the enemy mecha's shield is gonna be destroyed, and then you will be able to destroy the Doomlight very easily. Okay. Okay. So one last topic I forgot to mention. Like, do you need more reload rate? I don't think you need more reload rate. Okay. Why is that? First of all, let me check, and then I'll be telling you why. Okay. So what happens when you shoot at the enemy and all of these bullets run out? Yeah. Once the bullet runs out, you can basically use the secondary weapon and then you can shoot again. So there is no need for you to give this mecha reload rate, because This mecha's reload i- rate is already very high, so there is no need for you to give this mecha any more reload rate. Okay, so the question remains is, okay, then what would I give this mecha? Hmm. Okay, so if reload rate were to be not needed, then what would I give this mecha? Obviously, I would give this mecha some long range attack, okay, because this mecha is more of a long range mecha. Obviously, you will be using this mecha for long range for a longer period of time. Only at the end part of the battle, what will happen is you will be using this mecha for short range only. But do not worry, if you have the proper uh, what should I call it, pilot mecha skill, then everything is gonna be fine. Okay, now, obviously, this mecha needs a lot of fuel. Okay, so what you will be doing is to give this mecha a lot of fuel. Now, what type of fuel should you be giving this mecha? Okay, you should be giving this mecha, let's see, max fuel. Okay, sorry, improve fuel, and then you supercharge capacitor, and okay, let's see, concurrent power supply. Okay, so basically speaking, what will happen is this mecha can now stay up in the air or will be able to run away from the battlefield a lot more easier. Like you seen that the maximum running away distance is 160 meters, but now this mecha can run away up to 200 meters. So that much of a difference this one is gonna make. Now, as I have already shown you that the reload speed doesn't actually matter if you were to use the primary and the secondary as soon as possible. And the following mecha mods, which I have modules, which I have already shown you, which basically lowers the amount of cooldown needs for the secondary weapon to recover. If you were to use the rapid recharge, that is, then obviously everything is gonna be fine. Okay, this mecha will be able to survive in the battle a lot easier. But other than that, the question remains, okay, then what is the best make sorry pilot mecha skill is for uh, uh, Pulsar? Well, here's the thing. Let's start with Ning. Ning has the ability to give more durability, but it is not the best because the problem with this one is if you have durability but cannot maintain it, obviously it is not good. This one is totally useless on Pulsar. No need to give this to Pulsar. Instead of giving this to Pulsar, the one which you should be giving this to Pulsar is this one, because Pulsar needs a lot more fuel, and obviously fuel gives Pulsar the ability to stay up in the air or able to dash in the battlefield easier. So from that point of perspective, giving expeditious charge is gonna be the best option. Okay, like this is gonna be the primary option if you want to use Pulsar. Afterwards, if you want more durability, then this is the best option. Shield durability, that is. If you want auto repair, then this is the best option, but it is only gonna be useful on battle royale. Okay. Now this one is useless because you need to destroy 90% of the mecha durability in order to get only 13.5. This is not the best. This is the worst. This one doesn't work on Pulsar. This one works on Pulsar, but it is a good one, but not the best. Why? Because it has a lot of problem. 3-second movement has a cooldown of 7 seconds and can only be work if you hit the enemy mecha. Otherwise, it will not work. This one is the same as thing. I think to say here. This one for this one is if you want to recover the shield durability a lot faster. Obviously, this is the best one. Okay. Now this one is good one for Pulsar because Pulsar can basically shoot away from 150 meters. Now this one you do not need this on Pulsar because Pulsar ability to reload with the primary and the secondary weapon is so good that you do not need this. Okay. Now this is good on Pulsar, but it will only work if you have recovery item. If you do not have recovery item, it will not work. This one is good on Pulsar, but You must need to be near the enemy, and this can only be happen in the end part of the battle royale. Now this is the best one when it comes to maximum damage output. If you want to do maximum damage output, obviously chain electroshock is the best one, because after using a secondary weapon on any place, not at the enemy, the not only at the enemy, then what will happen? The primary weapon will become 22% more damage output, and it has a cooldown of 9 seconds. Now this is another good one, but in order to use this, you must need to stay up in the sky for a longer period of time, up to 20 meters, in order to get 7.2% more damage output, or 8 meters off the ground, you will get 5.2%. Okay. And now this is good one if you want to use the Pulsar's blaster form. Otherwise, this one is not going to be that much useful. Okay, so from all of this, the overall question is, okay, then which one is the best on Pulsar? Urace is the best one on Pulsar if you want recovery without any items, and it can only work in Battle Royale. Vita is good if you want to recover the Mecha shield durability a lot faster. Norma is the best if you want to do maximum damage output of 22%. Joanna's ability is the best if you want to have high capability to stay in the air, or let's say do a lot more dashing in the battlefield, to run away from the battlefield up to 200 meters. So obviously Joanna's is the best one. Even is the best if you want to convert the normal durability to 10% more shield durability. And yeah, that is basically it. Rest of the others, you basically don't need them. So that is basically how it works. So anyway, if you like this video regarding Pulsar, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons to get more of this type of topic on a regular basis. Thank you, and see you again next time.